Round stage, 4 games to be played today, 4 tomorrow. You could say it's a cup of two halves. In tonight's programme, we'll see the favourites. Arsenal were at home to Gillingham of the First Division. We've got the rank outsiders. 3rd Division Cheltenham were at West Brom. We'll see the only all-Premiership clash of the 5th round, Middlesbrough against Blackburn. And following their win at Charlton, we'll see if Walsall can pull off another shock, this time against Fulham. No shocks in the studio, it's Alan and Mark. Right, first up tonight, we've got Arsenal, cup winners 4 years ago against Gillingham, bidding to reach the quarter-finals for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. Commentary from Highbury comes from John Motson.
Gillingham's Paul Shaw spent 6 seasons at Highbury, but Arsenal's strike force then was led by Ian Wright, and Shaw was restricted to 12 Premiership games and 2 goals. Now at 28, he makes an emotional return. It's also a big day for 20-year-old Juan Maldonado Duarte, who arrived at Highbury from Sao Paulo last summer. He's played 1 Worthington Cup tie and makes his FA Cup debut at left-back today. And he'll have a fellow Brazilian, Edu, playing in front of him. Because Arsenal have 7 first-teamers injured or suspended. They've also got Perez and Henry kept on the bench, no doubt with Tuesday's Champions League match in Leverkusen in mind. And while Lee Dixon starts for the first time this season, Tony Adams and Francis Jeffers start for the first time since September. They've all been injured. Quite apart from Shaw, Gillingham have 2 other former Gunners out to prove a point. Goalkeeper Vince Bartram played 11 Premiership games here, and number 11 Ty Gooden was once an Arsenal junior. Midfielder Simon Osborne, who comes into the side today, was with Wolves when they met Arsenal in the 1998 semi-final, but he missed the match through suspension. Andy D'Urso is the referee on a sunny afternoon in North London, and the occasion given flavour by over 6,000 Gillingham supporters at the right-hand end, the clock end as it's known, here at Highbury. Tony Adams back in action, gets a big cheer, and here's Juan, the 20-year-old Brazilian at left-back. Big day for him. And also on that side, Edu. Inside to Patrick Vieira, who scored in midweek for France. His last Arsenal goal was in the semi-final last season against Tottenham. Here's Lee Dixon, also back after a long absence. That was Ty Gooden there, one of the Gillingham players with a special reason for wanting to do well today. And inevitably, we spot Sven-Göran Eriksson in the crowd. That's a good ball by Juan to Jeffers. And then Kanu. Oh, explosive! And Dixon's following up here from right back. He nearly got on the end of a bouncing ball there, which was brought about really by Bartram's save from Kanu. Here's Gooden. Perpetuini to Shaw. It's Ty Gooden again, and Onwura's coming in from the far side. Tony Adams' header. Well won by Paul Smith. To Shaw. Osborne. It's a free kick in favour of Patrick Vieira. The Nigerian who's back from the African Nations Cup, Kanu, and he had the early effort here. He really sold Barry Ashby and then struck it well with his left foot. It was more or less at the goalkeeper, who couldn't hold it, but in palming it upwards he was relieved to see that Dixon and Wiltord didn't quite get on the end of it. Gillingham chairman Paul Scally, who's revived and revitalised the club while he's been in charge. Well, this is a man who's studying for a postgraduate diploma in sporting law at the moment, Ife Onwura, and he showed plenty of intelligence in getting into that position. to see where the front men are. Wiltord nearest to that. Now Vieira to Kanu. Edu, Jeffers. Wiltord is to his right here. Oh, that's a brilliant shot. He hits the crossbar. Edu! And he's missed. There's a flag up anyway for offside on the second effort, but not when Wiltord shot. This was a superb attempt by the Frenchman, crashing back off Vince Bartram's crossbar. Now at this point, the player who was in an offside position becomes active. And the offside player really there is Kanu, who became active once the shot came back off the bar. Andy Hessenthaler took over, that's Richard Hill, the coach. Took over from Peter Taylor when he went to Leicester, following the very good cup run and promotion season which Gillingham had 2 years ago. Went up in the playoffs after previously losing a playoff final at Wembley. Here's Campbell. Little touch by Kanu, and that's Edu! Oh, and he's hit the bar as well. Well, there's no shortage of shots from Arsenal, but Gillingham riding their luck a little bit. The Brazilian here, who didn't make the best of starts to the game in fairness, gets into a central position, and it's a sweet strike with the left foot. Vince Bartram unable to get to that, and for the second time in this first 27 minutes, he's saved by the crossbar. They've had quite an exciting time down in Kent over the last few years, supporters of Gillingham. 2 playoff finals, a cup run, promotion. Interception was by Ty Gooden. This is Onura. And still. Wiltord steps across Gooden. But gives it only to Shaw. Now, Onura. And 3 to the right here for Gillingham. This is Shaw. Good position on this side by Marlon King. He pulled away a little bit from Lee Dixon. Not a bad cross either, and it has to be firmly headed out. It is Shaw, Smith, rather. And he wins it back again, the Gillingham captain. Osborne, knocked over by Jeffers. Free kick to Gillingham. Ashby to help Ife Onura here in the air. And it was really the swift break from a Gillingham attack that caught out the nationwide team. Jeffers was released on the left, went all the way. Bartram doing his best to beat out the shot, and a nice clever finish by Sylvain Wiltord with the outside of the foot here. The ball came out to him quite conveniently, but he finished it very comfortably. Wiltord, who scored 6 goals in the FA Cup last season, puts Arsenal ahead in the 5th round this time. The likes of Henry and Perez kept by Arsene Wenger on the bench today, and I'm pretty certain that's to do with Tuesday's match in Germany. David Seaman's there as well, waiting to reclaim his place, both, I suppose, for Arsenal and England eventually. And this could be the last attack of the half, and if it is, it's with Gillingham, with Marlon King to Per Petrini. And that's come off Edu. And the referee will give a throw-in here to Gillingham. Tony Adams, again, exerting his acknowledged influence. And indeed, he has been pretty comfortable, as Arsenal have in defence in the first half, and in attack, Sylvain Wiltord scoring the goal after 38 minutes, following 2 earlier efforts from Arsenal that had struck the crossbar. So a little gap in class is showing. At half-time it's Arsenal 1, Gillingham 0. Gillingham, the sort of club that defy the force of football gravity when it comes to resources. They operate well within their means in Division 1, but have still managed to redevelop one side of their Priestfield Stadium with restaurants and cafes and banqueting hall that would almost be the envy of clubs like Arsenal for some. They were only level for 2 minutes, Gillingham, and the Nigerian, back from the Nations Cup, puts Arsenal back in front. The Brazilian takes the free kick. Vince Bartram got hands to the ball, but it was Kanu to whom it went, and after that it was only going in one place. So the Nigerian, who scored at Watford in the 3rd round before he went away, comes back and scores in the 5th round, snapping up the rebound to make it Arsenal 2, Gillingham 1. Chris Hope may still be feeling that it was a harsh free kick, but once it was awarded, then the Brazilian took over. And here's Wiltord with Kanu to his right, and that, oh, he's through Wiltord for Arsenal on his own. Finds Jeffers, good save Bartram. Well, if he had to make amends for the free kick, and it was partly down to him, he certainly did it there. He's kept Gillingham in the cup with that save, because that looked like 3-1 and possibly all over. The defender who fell was Ashby, which made it rather easier for Wiltord. Then you thought he might give it to Jeffers. Then he did give it to Jeffers, and Bartram made the save. And now it's a corner to Arsenal. Was Perpetuini on the post. Certainly his second clearance anyway. David Perpetuini just rescuing Gillingham there. It's a real crowded penalty area. I don't think Jeffers gets a touch. It comes, I think, off Ife Onura, but certainly a studied clearance off the... Francis Jeffers is one of those called to the touchline. And Edu as well is coming off. Well, what a compliment to Gillingham this is. They've pushed Arsenal far enough for them to use the 2 players they wanted to rest. Osborne. Shaw. Now then, Ray Parler's to his right. There are 3 others up for Arsenal, and Gillingham have got to try and cover all the angles here. Kanu's back heel. Didn't quite find Parler, but it will now. This is Wiltord. Smith was in the way. Parler. It's come to Henry. Corner. Adams and Campbell both forward. And this time with Perez on and Edu off, it's going to be the outswinger. Adams is there.
Out of his feet. We just show you this because we spoke about the 2 goals that Gillingham scored. I don't think any other Division 1 team has scored a better goal against them this season than that. That was absolutely brilliant.
Cracking goal
by Parler.
No, I mean you've said lots of nice things, but Alan, I mean, a terrific game like that, fantastic goals. You've still found something to bleat about, and it concerns the England defender Sol Campbell. You're a bit unsure about...
Oh, shouldn't he?
Well, I thought it was a fantastic game before we start, and I like Campbell. I think that after a slow start, he's played progressively better and better for Arsenal. If he has got a weakness, it is positionally, and occasionally he wanders into a bad position, he knocks off. I think today that if the ball's on one side of the park, and you're on the other side of the park as a centre-back, you cannot afford to get behind your co-central defender, or the full-back on either side as well, because you play everybody on side. And that's what happened at Gillingham's first goal. I don't want to take anything away from King because it's a fantastic strike, but you've got to be good positionally. Here we have Shaw on the break. We pick up Campbell here. He's backing off. That's fine, because Tony Adams comes in the picture. He's got to take his position now off of Tony Adams, right? That's still fine. Do not go any further back. But he wanders in, and that is a terrible position to get into, because when Shaw plays it through, I think King's offside there, apart from Sol Campbell playing him onside. It's a fantastic hit, but that's a worry for Arsenal and a worry for England as well.
Ericsson was in the stand as well.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, what age are you, 25, 26? I think that if you've been in bad positionally at that age, I think you're always going to have problems. And, you know, would you play him alongside Ferdinand for England? I think what Ericsson's got to do is keep playing them together for a certain length of time and then make a crucial decision.
OK, thank you. Now, before we bring you the other 3 ties played today, a little reminder of the live FA Cup action we've got for you tomorrow. At 1:20, we're at Goodison for Everton versus Crewe. Then at 10 to 7, also on BBC One, we've got a potential classic, Newcastle against Manchester City. Now, in the entire history of the FA Cup, only one side has ever won the competition and gained promotion in the same season. Yep, you've got it, West Bromwich Albion. So could the Baggies, 71 years on, repeat that remarkable feat? Well, first they had to dispose of 3rd Division Cheltenham. Steve Wilton was at the Hawthorns.
You'd be hard-pushed to find 2 teams in better form. Cheltenham are unbeaten in 13 games and they've won 10 of those. West Brom have won their last 5 without conceding a goal. West Bromwich Albion's manager, Gary Megson, picks an unchanged side for the 5th match in succession. Midfielder Andy Johnson has recovered from the hamstring injury which kept him out of Wales' match against Argentina. And at the back, Darren Moore continues to delay a hernia operation in order to play. It's been a big week already for one of Cheltenham's 11. Mike Duff made his international debut for Northern Ireland in Poland. He's the club's first ever international. His call-up caused him to miss their 2-0 win at Darlington on Tuesday. John Brough moves to the bench to accommodate his return. Strikers Julian Alsop and Tony Naylor already have 9 FA Cup goals between them this season. The referee is Matt Messias. West Bromwich Albion, who have not reached the quarter-finals of the FA Cup since the days of Cunningham, Robson and Regis, are in the blue and white striped shirts, kicking from left to right. The 3rd Division side, who have never been FA Cup 4th rounders or 5th rounders, are in yellow and blue, kicking from right to left. Darren Moore with the clearance, finds Jamie Victorione, the left-back of Cheltenham, and Sigurdsson's header concedes the first throw-in of the match. Done a fine job, Gary Megson, in charge of West Bromwich Albion, chasing promotion to the Premiership, 3rd at the moment in the 1st Division. Griffin was stretching slightly, but still made the clearance. Chris Banks rather found himself in trouble, and here's Jason Roberts! It's a corner. It was well covered by Jamie Victory. Roberts just had a sight of goal. Clement's pass was a good one, and Jamie Victory just stuck out his leg in time. There he is, Jamie Victory marking Darren Moore now for the corner kick. Book comes and had it taken away from him. It was Alsop's header at the near post which rather took it away from his own goalkeeper. Lee Howells forward, looking for Naylor, won by Moore. And Chambers is the judge for a push, Lee Howells. Spent only 2 years in the conference, Cheltenham, before winning promotion to the 3rd Division. Free kick against McInnes. And the Scotsman is not happy. 50-50 ball. Everybody back inside their own half for West Bromwich Albion here. Milton with his left foot again. Darren Moore took no chances. It's Cheltenham's first corner. The man who will take this corner is Russell Milton. Moore away. Howells waits. No offside given though. The Albion back line and crowd thought that they should have got a decision. Yates forward. And Johnson completes the clearance. This is Jason Roberts. Nice turn. Roberts on his own, but he may not need anyone else. their captain, Chris Banks, is in trouble here. He certainly brought down Roberts without any intention of playing the ball. It's yellow for the skipper. The left foot of Neil Clement is certain to provide Cheltenham with some problems here. Look like there are gaps in that wall. Clement wasn't far away. He's a real threat from set pieces, Neil Clement. He found a gap in the wall, but didn't find the gap inside the post. Lee Williams. Griffin forward. Gilchrist has to be careful here. Well, there are appeals from the Cheltenham dugout. It was Gilchrist who didn't seem to know where Yates was, and Yates went over inside the penalty area. This is Victory. Howells. Griffin to Williams. Tony Naylor. Darren Moore is the man in attendance. Still Naylor. It's an excellent cross and well taken by Holt. Here's the collision. Well, Yates had his standing foot taken by Gilchrist. It seemed it was an untidy challenge by the West Brom defender. This is Johnson. He was quickly onto the header from Griffin, but was quickly closed down himself. No free kick given there. This is Gilchrist, and still Phil Gilchrist. Dichio and Roberts and Chambers are waiting, and the cross is well cleared away by Banks. And then Johnson. No free kick given again, and West Brom are incensed, and Cheltenham break. Lee Williams. Nothing comes of it in the end for Cheltenham. Oh, Williams has won a corner. Andy Johnson is the man who is down. The West Bromwich Albion bench was incensed as Cheltenham broke. Milton with this corner kick for Cheltenham. Near post header's a good one, and it's off the line. It was Victory, I think, who got the touch ahead of Alsop. Victory's header and off the line from Chambers. Here comes the Milton corner. Victory got his head on it, and Chambers was the man on the line with the clearance. Here's Roberts, and still Roberts, and still, and the goalkeeper makes the save. Real chance for Roberts. Anthony Griffin trying to hold him up. Roberts jigged this way and that, and the goalkeeper makes a very good save, low down to his left-hand side. Probably West Bromwich Albion's best chance of the game. Goalkeeper did well. It's going to be a free kick to the home side. Taken by McInnes. This is Ballis. 5 in the middle waiting for the cross from Ballis, which is a good one, and the header is in from Dichio. West Bromwich Albion find the key to the Cheltenham door, and Daniele Dichio just might have headed them into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Excellent cross from that man Igor Ballis, who gets the congratulations of Dichio. Super cross as he got in behind Grayson, and Dichio's header left the goalkeeper completely exposed. Anthony Griffin. Alsop was waiting, Moore got his header. Victory was almost in at the back post. This is Jamie Victory again. Phil Gilchrist with the clearing header, and Johnson away from Grayson. Back in from Howells. Sigurdsson climbing. This is Yates. Spears for handball, not given. Yates tries his luck, and Holt got a touch. Mark Yates, the former Hawthorns ball boy, almost rifles one into the back of the Hawthorns net. Cheltenham are not finished yet. Victory. Howells. Yates forward. Brough climbs, headed away by Butler. This is Grayson. Banks, the skipper. Alsop, Grayson on the edge of the penalty area. Tackle from McInnes, or from Gilchrist rather, and a free kick given in his favour against Neil Grayson. This is Roberts. Here's Clement, Dobie and Dicchio in the middle. All about possession now for West Bromwich Albion. If they don't concede possession, they've won the match. And time is almost up. And West Bromwich Albion are into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup for the first time in 20 years. Daniel Dicchio with the headed goal, which in the end was the difference between a side at the top of the First Division and a side at the top of the Third. But how Cheltenham played their part. They might have had a penalty in the first half. They threw everything they had at West Bromwich Albion late in the second, but ultimately West Brom just had too much for the side from the Third Division. Disappointment for Julian Alsop and his teammates. Their cup adventure has come to an end, but it has carried them 2 rounds further than their football club has ever been before. West Bromwich Albion are back in the last 8 for the first time in a very long time. They have beaten Cheltenham by 1-0.
The opportunities that we did get, we weren't good enough. We didn't. Our final pass wasn't good enough, apart from once. And the one time that it was a terrific cross from Igor Ballas, Danny's managed to get on the end of it, and it was a really good goal from that point of view. But I felt that we got what we deserved, because there was one team that was going out there to win it, and one that was out there to nick it, which is maybe understandable, but that's life.
Danny, it looked like that goal was never going to come, wasn't it? I mean, they defended really well, didn't they, Cheltenham?
Yeah, all credit to them today. They made it very hard for us, and there was at times that I didn't think it was going to come, but Eagles put in a great ball towards the end there, and I've managed to get my head towards it.
Steve, I know this cup run has taken you a lot further than Cheltenham has ever been before, but I would imagine that you're still disappointed that it's finished, especially after you played so well.
Maybe, but we knew it was a tough place to come anyway, so you know, we haven't got our head in the clouds. I'm sure tonight the viewers will look at a few incidents and they can make up their own minds on that, but it's been enjoyable all round, the whole run, and today, lads playing in front of crowds like that and not letting themselves down.
What's your best cup run? Is this it? Would it quarter-final?
When I was young, we got to the quarter-finals with QPR against Man United, and we got knocked out there. So this is a great experience for me, because I'm actually playing now. I was on the bench then at QPR when I was a really young lad, so hopefully in the next round I'll be playing in the next game, and hopefully we'll get a good draw tomorrow.
No surprise there then, but a valiant effort from Cheltenham.
Well, I thought Cheltenham acquitted themselves really well, and they've had a fantastic run in this tournament, some great moments and some fantastic memories, and also made a lot of money. Today there was not a lot in it, and they definitely had their moments, and to be fair, the game could have gone either way. This was the best moment of the match. It's a decent ball into the box. It was an early ball, as it happens, and Victory comes in with a header. Great header. Chambers on the line. Show me a bit more composure, will you? And they get it away. I mean, good ball in, good leap, Keeper beaten, and as I say, great composure on the line. And then Roberts makes his own chance here. Good flick on. Maybe should have gone down there, but stays on his feet, takes in his right peg, and that is a fantastic save by the keeper. But the goal was a good one, good cross in the box. Dickie always dangerous in the far post, comes in, and a powerful header. Yeah. West Brom weren't brilliant today, but they will be difficult to beat if they get a home draw.
They will. Right, that's 2 down, 2 to go from the day's FA Cup ties sponsored by AXA. Our next game is the only all-Premiership encounter of the 5th round, Middlesbrough versus Blackburn. Borough's Gianluca Festa and Jonathan Greening were suspended, and new signing Benito Carboni cup-tied. The good news was that skipper Paul Ince was past fit after being doubtful with a back injury. Blackburn's captain Gary Flitcroft was another absentee through suspension. Top scorer Matt Jansen, who injured a hip in training, was not fit to start but was on the bench. Our man at the Riverside was Simon Brotherton.
Frank Kudru. Now it's Robbie Stockdale. It's opening up before him. Easy for Brad Friedel in the end. First shot on goal for the goalkeeper to save, for either keeper to save, and we played for nearly half an hour. This is Gillespie. Has he got the speed to get away from the defender? Well, he did actually, and he's won a corner. Blackburn's second corner of the match. And Henning Berg with a header. Very nearly crept through a thicket of players. Hignet's corner, Berg rose well, and Schwarzer with an unorthodox save. Doesn't matter how you stop them as long as you do. Lucas Neal with the interception, which on another occasion might have fallen kindly for the opposition. Stockdale. Now it's Whelan making the run. Friedel wasn't sure whether to commit himself or not. And it's Henning Berg who clears the ball away right at the last moment. At last, excitement in front of one of the 2 goals. Whelan, the player, racing forward. Friedel clearly in 2 minds as to what to do. Henning Berg in the right place at the right time. Mustoe, Southgate. Now this is certainly looking a little more promising. A challenge on Robbie Stockdale on the far side. Now what decision will be given here by the referee? Lucas Neal is certainly in trouble, and he's off. Lucas Neal, the Australian, certainly made sure that the attack came to an end. But it was wide of the goal. Nonetheless, Graham Barber has decided that Neal should be sent off. He wasn't booked earlier in the match. It's a straight red card. And Blackburn Rovers will have to play the rest of this match with 10 men. I get the feeling he is not impressed with that decision at all. But now Blackburn Rovers need to retain their composure. They're a man down, but they have a free kick to defend here. And it could be a rather tricky situation for them. Ince and Kudru standing near the ball. Friedel able to watch it sail over the top of the bar. This is neat approach play here. Now Keith Gillespie. Fallen kindly for Tugai. Wanted too long to set himself up. Johansson. Away by Southgate and Mustoe. Now it's Paul Ince. really is a poor match. Here's Matt Jansen, though, for Blackburn. Andy Cole waiting in the middle. Douglas waits for it as well. Oh, and that was close in the end. I think it was Hignett right in front of the goal. Yes, it was. Hignett nearly in at the near post. Just kept in play by Jansen. It's a decent half chance. Middlesbrough thought the ball had gone behind. Close to an unlikely goal there on his return to the Riverside, Craig Hignett. Murphy's header. Whelan, now Nemeth. Whelan racing through the middle. Boksic waiting at the far post as well. And here's Robbie Mustoe. And that looked a decent chance for Robbie Mustoe in the end. Into the penalty area at the last moment. Had a clear view of goal. Put under pressure by Gillespie. Who did just enough to put him off. This is Whelan. Blackburn now getting plenty of bodies back behind the ball. And the afternoon was summed up in that moment as Middlesbrough needlessly put the ball out of play. Frustrating for the players and for the crowd here today. It just hasn't happened. One or two people deciding that they'll beat the rush. Graham Barber less than impressed with the reaction there. A needless yellow card for Matt Jansen. And the referee's favourite thing, he moves the ball forward 10 yards again. This has been a recurrent theme. Now, what can Middlesbrough conjure up here? 4 minutes to go. Still we await our first goal of the match. Gareth Southgate to take the free kick. Looking for Eki York! The two central defensive players combine, and at last the deadlock is broken. Pinpoint free kick from Southgate. Eki York was there, ahead of Craig Short. Friedel couldn't keep it out. Eki York, such a strong physical presence. Middlesbrough now with a foot inside the quarter-finals. This is Kudru just playing out the seconds, and Ince. Final check of the watch for Graham Barber. And there goes the final whistle, and Middlesbrough are through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. For the second time in a row, they left it late. In the last round, 2 goals in the final 5 minutes beat Manchester United. This time, 1 goal was more than enough, scored by that man there, Ugo Eki York, with 4 minutes remaining from a Gareth Southgate free kick. Steve McLaren happy with his team's day's work, but not so Graham Souness, who's absolutely livid with the referee for his decision to send off Lucas Neal during the second half. Not a good way for Blackburn Rovers to prepare for the Worthington Cup final next Sunday, but here at the Riverside it's finished. Middlesbrough 1, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Well, we don't think it was a sending off. I think their player was arguably offside, and when the players came together, the referee actually motioned to play on. A cheer went up, or a moan went up from the crowd on that side. The linesman put his flag up, and Mr. Barber, who had a minging game, decided to send him off.
And it wasn't even a second yellow card. It wasn't a foul, which he thought was a booking. It was a straight red card.
Obviously we'll be appealing it. I've actually seen it on the monitor. We will be appealing it, and if the referee's got any honesty about him, he'll realise he got it wrong. But you don't get that very much today. You know, you don't get that. They make a mistake and then they come up, they spend half an hour concocting some story that this was wrong or that was wrong. But if he's got any honesty about him, then he realises he's made a mistake today.
Well, certainly if it had happened to us, I'd have been exactly feeling the same way. But you can't change it. They've made their decision. We've had many out here this season already where we've had sendings off and harsh decisions go against us. But I would protest just the same. Nobody likes losing football matches, and nobody likes losing players, especially at this time of the season.
The sending off just, well, show it to the viewers, let them make their mind up.
It did look
as
as
experts tell you what they think.
Well, we've got a couple of experts here, I'm sure I have their say. What do you think? Was it fairly minging, was it?
It's a great word, that, isn't it? It's actually from the Latin, the verb to ming. The Scottish word. The only disappointing thing about Souness there, he's mellowed so much. When he used to say that word at Liverpool, the facials used to come, and so minging. Mellow there, yeah, minging. That's the word. But he was right. It was a really bad decision. There was nothing in the game. It came at a crucial time. To be fair, it had 0-0 written all over it. Southgate on the ball. It's a long ball, and there's a collision here, and there's nothing in that whatsoever. If you look from this angle, all right, Neil, the arm comes out. That happens all the time. You know, it's not a yellow card, not even a foul. There's nothing in it, and it was a very, very bad decision.
And a very costly one as well.
Oh yeah, I mean 0-0. There was nothing in the game
as well, though.
Well, that's right. I mean,
well, if you look at Cheltenham today, we've got a perfect example here, and this is Roberts going through. That is more of a deliberate foul, and it's a yellow.
Yeah.
It definitely stops Roberts going through. He's away, and that's a yellow. It's just the inconsistency. You know, going back to Mingin, if you grew up in a Liverpool dressing room that had him and Souness, Dalglish, Wark, McDonnell, Gillespie, Nicol, you knew what Mingin means.
I didn't realise it was a Scottish word.
It's a Scottish word.
I've
got to say, in the match there, the two Middlesbrough centre-backs were very, very good. Very, very good. Playing together. Obviously played together at Aston Villa. They've got a good understanding and very, very competent.
Quickly, Mike, I mean, Alan had his say on Sol Campbell earlier. Is Southgate a viable alternative? Very experienced, good position.
I think most definitely. Very rarely makes a mistake. Made the transition, obviously coming from Villa along with Ekiog. His understanding and reading the game is excellent. And as Alan says, if Campbell's not going to cut the mustard, then certainly Southgate would be my choice.
Okay, thanks. Right, that leaves one more game to show you, and that's Walsall looking to reach the quarter-finals for the first time against Fulham finalists in 1975. Walsall's new signings from Birmingham, Martin O'Connor and Marcelo, were cup-tied, but Darren Byfield had sufficiently shaken off an injury in training to be on the bench. Three of Fulham's lineup were back from international duty this week: Edwin van der Sar, Steve Finnan and Steed Malbronk. The commentator at Bescot Stadium was Ian Gwyn Hughes.
Biancalani. Again, that's a poor ball. Brevet this time. What can he do? Better looking for Hales. Here's Marley. Great chance for Legwinski, and Walker saves. Keeps Walsall in the game. The keeper doing ever so well, blocking the shot with his knees. Best chance of the game so far. It was Marley who had possession. He looked up, he saw the run from Legwinski. Inch perfect pass, but the goalkeeper throwing his body at the ball and denying Legwinski the chance to give Fulham the lead. Van der Sar, that's not the best clearance. Chance for Herivelto, and completely misses his shot. That's the first time the goalkeeper Van der Sar's been under any sort of pressure, forced into a hurried clearance, and it wasn't a particularly good one, and really Herivelto seemed to panic and wasted the chance. No challenge for Goulmer. Feenan powering forward, gets the ball back. Here's Marley, no support at the moment in the middle, manages to pull it back though. Well, Steed Malbrank looked certain to score. Coming late from the middle of the park. And the cross gets there ahead of three Walsall defenders, but heads it wide. That's a good chance. Brevet. Well, he's just on the edge of the penalty area. Brevet looking for Legwinski, looking for Hales. Hales manages to chest it down, but not enough really. Here's Byfield. Does well, Byfield still looking very lively since coming on, looking for Litau! Well, he should have scored. Van der Sar wastes little time in pushing Fulham upfield. And it's Hales, and he's caught there by Carbon, who's furious with Arenalde for losing possession. And the referee wants a word with him, but this is the chance. Byfield has looked lively, gets the cross in. Leitao, no power, no direction behind the header, and it's an easy save in the end for Van der Sar. But Walsall could so easily have been 1-0 up. And Carbon's booked at the other end, trying to make up really for the error by Arenalde. Now this is a good position for Fulham. They could have been 1 down, who knows? They could quite easily take the lead from here. They're in a good position. Free kick is drilled in, and it's an own goal. Bennett and Carbon went for it, and I think the final touch came off Bennett. They should be 1 up. They're 1 down within the space of 90 seconds. Free kick was knocked in hard, and both Walsall players got there ahead of Barry Hales. Well, neither will want to claim it, but it's 1-0 to Fulham. Walker looking towards Litau, gets the touch, gets the break as well. Sean Davis is there. Here's Keats. Arenalde stretches. Matthias. Van der Sar thought about coming, decided against coming. It'll drop for Litau, and the ricochet, it's over for a goal kick. Well, that could have gone anywhere. Biancalani it was on the far side, on the end of this cross from Matthias. The header from Litau initially, and in the challenge with Goma, the ball went the way of Fulham. Litau against Goma. Does well. Options in the middle. Byfield's there. Darren Rack was effective on a couple of occasions in the first half down that right-hand flank. Not so on that occasion. Oudu made the challenge, and it's a corner for Walsall, their first corner in this second half. Van der Sar punches, and it's gone in! Well, the goalkeeper stood on his line. Byfield's getting the credit. The corner, right in on the goal line. Van der Sar rooted to the spot and seemed to punch the ball against Byfield. He flapped at it really, and it came off Darren Byfield. And Walsall, right at the beginning of the second half, are back on level terms. Fulham defenders just looking at each other, looking at the goalkeeper, but Walsall won't care about that. Davis, Krevitz outside. Malbranck, just the touch for Marlott to Hales. Malbranck continued his run, just wouldn't sit up for him. Ball slightly dropped behind him, but good interplay by Fulham. Good one touch. Hales with a touch, and the ball just spun off his right foot. Here's Brevet. Hales. Brevet, and no attempt by Biancalani to play the ball. Just stood in front of Brevet, and I thought the referee would have booked Biancalani for that challenge, but it's a free kick for Fulham. It's driven in, and it's saved by Walker. Well, that took everybody by surprise. Everybody expecting Malbranck to deliver the cross. Instead, he went for goal. And Walker, credit the goalkeeper, with the aid of the crossbar, padding away for a corner. Malbranck himself will take the corner. It comes off Oudu. And it's an end-to-end cup tie at the moment. And Roper straight in the back of Marlott, free kick. Malbranck. Legwinski's made a forward run, it's played through to Feenan. Hales! Oh, that's a cracking goal! What a finish! Superbly executed, and it's behind Hales, and that is a great finish and deserves to win any game. Fulham regain the lead with just over an hour played. He'll have enjoyed that, Barry Hales. Walker had no chance. Off Hales for the Walsall corner. Byfield again making a nuisance of himself, putting presence on Van der Sar. And somehow the ball has stayed out. Crowd behind the goal appealing for a penalty, but Fulham could break here and catch Walsall. Marley looking for Malbranck. Plenty of red shirts back there now, but here's Marley. Touches on for Sean Davis, and Biancalani just does enough. Well, again they're causing problems from the corner. Holdsworth got the touch. Colin Lee in a thoughtful mood. Space here for Matthias, Byfield and Litau in the middle. Towards Byfield! Great save from Van der Sar. Well, if he was at fault for Walsall's goal, he made up for it then. Thrilling move from Walsall. And Van der Sar equal to Byfield's header. Steve Dunn just looking at his watch, and any second now will bring this FA Cup tie to an end, and it's Fulham from the Premiership who make it through to the next round. And the last time they succeeded in getting beyond the 5th round, they made it all the way to Wembley. Colin Lee will be disappointed, but his side will take great credit from the game. Barry Hales it was, with an excellent winner. Walsall will be left to concentrate on staying in the First Division. Fulham can dream of a cup final at the Millennium Stadium. Final score, it's Walsall 1, Fulham 2.